Welcome back to State Debate's rundown of the most affordable towns in each state, and today we are touching down in Arkansas. Seeing as how it ranks number 3 in housing affordability and number 1 in cost of living, it's no shock that there are real towns where you can buy a house without selling a kidney or rent an apartment without needing a second job. So let's stop sleeping on Arkansas and count down 10 towns that prove affordability in the U.S. isn't just a fairy tale. Ready? Counting down. Let's go! Number 10, Highland. Starting us off at number 10 is Highland, technically the priciest on today's list, which tells you everything you need to know about where we're headed. The median home price sits around $194,000, and average monthly rent comes in at $706. In roughly 47 other states, those numbers would get you laughed out of the real estate office. Here, that's the expensive option. Highland is a quiet little town in Sharp County near the Spring River, which means you've got actual outdoor recreation, fishing, canoeing, that whole vibe, without the outdoor recreation price tag. It's not flashy, it's not a metropolis, but if you're looking for affordable peace and quiet with a side of nature, Highland is your priciest but still reasonable entry point. Number 9, Hamburg. Next up is Hamburg, sitting pretty at number 9. Median home price of $189,475, reasonable, but the real headline here is the rent. Just $643 a month. 643. That is less than most people spend on car insurance and a streaming bundle combined. Hamburg is the county seat of Ashley County down in the southeast corner of the state, a small town with that tight-knit southern community feel where people actually know their neighbors' names. It's not going to win any awards for nightlife, but if your idea of a good evening is a front porch and some peace and quiet, Hamburg might just be paradise. Very affordable paradise at that. Number 8, Booneville. Booneville rolls in at number 8, and here's where things get a little spicy. The median home price is a very reasonable $175,000. But, and this is a significant but, if you're renting, you're looking at the highest rent on our entire list at about $1,075 a month. Now, before you flip the table, that is still objectively cheap by most American standards. But compared to everywhere else on this list, renters in Booneville are basically bawling out. Located in Logan County near the Arkansas River Valley, Booneville has that small-town charm with some actual local economy behind it. With a livability score of 72, you're looking at a lot of bang for your buck. Bottom line, if you're buying, fantastic deal. If you're renting, you're still fine. Just don't expect any sympathy from other states when you complain about it. Number 7, Crossett. As we near the top 5, we begin our introduction of the Crossetts. What you'll soon realize is an entire extended family of Crossetts on this list. Yes, there are multiple. Stay with me. The main town of Crossett clocks in with a median home price of $149,000 and rent around $850 a month. Crossett is in Ashley County in southern Arkansas, and it's a genuine working town with a paper mill history and a community that knows how to show up for itself. You've got schools, local businesses, and the kind of neighborhood where people still wave at you from their driveways. It's not Silicon Valley. It's also not trying to be. And honestly, good for it. The livability score in Crossett is 66, which is not a deal breaker with prices like these. It has crime rates generally higher than national averages, particularly for property crime, though local perceptions sometimes see it as relatively safe due to its small-town feel. If you want a sense of freedom in a former company town, Crossett's your spot. Number 6, DeWitt. Hopefully I'm not butchering the name. DeWitt takes spot number 6, and here's where the prices start doing something genuinely impressive. Dropping to depths that would make a Californian faint, homes in DeWitt average around $118,000 for a house that you own, with a roof and walls and everything. Rent stays consistent of the state at around $853 a month. DeWitt is the county seat of Arkansas County, smack in the middle of the state's agricultural heartland. Rice and soybeans as far as the eye can see. It's a small town, no question, but it's got the basics covered and a community with deep roots. Although the town has a livability score of 62, the crime rate is 37% lower than the state average. If you want to be a homeowner without spending the next 30 years financially underwater, DeWitt is sending you a very affordable invitation. Number 5, Fordyce. If your idea of exciting is extremely good cost of living ratios, which honestly, same, and your ideal population is 3,268 as of 2026, boy, have we got a town for you. You're going to find home prices of around $104,000. For my renters, we've got a jaw-dropping $639. That is not a typo. Fordyce, down in Dallas County in south central Arkansas, is also the hometown of legendary football coach Bear Bryant, which means it's got more personality than you'd expect. Listen, it's small. Very small. But what it lacks in square footage of downtown, it more than makes up for in square footage of your actual house, which you can apparently afford to buy for the price of a top-trim SUV. Fordyce is quietly one of the best value propositions in the entire state, let alone the country. The livability score in this community is apparently set at 56, but when everyone knows each other, it's more of a talk-in-person kind of town than a leave-a-review-online kind, if you catch my drift. Either way, Fordyce has low home prices and a big history with bright red bugs. Number 4, Corning. About 60 miles from Jonesboro, Corning offers what might be the most balanced cost of living on this entire list. Home prices hover around $91,000 and rent just $625 a month, among the lowest in the state. Corning is up in Clay County in northeast Arkansas near the Missouri border, and it's a town that punches above its weight in terms of community feel. You've got local schools, small businesses, and the kind of place where local events actually matter because everyone actually shows up. If you want to own a home, pay almost nothing in rent while you save, and live somewhere genuinely affordable without going full off-grid hermit, Corning is making an extremely compelling argument. Livability is 68, and industry in Corning is dominated by agriculture-related industries, such as farm equipment sales, farm equipment repair, seed processing and sales, and fertilizer and chemicals production. Number 3, North Crossett. I told you there'd be more Crossetts, and here we are. Just outside the main Crossett town limits, prices drop further to a median of $80,000, while rent runs around $762 a month. North Crossett is essentially the quieter, slightly cheaper neighbor who borrows the same schools and infrastructure but costs less to live next to. At $80,000 for a median home price, we are firmly in territory where buying a house is cheaper than renting an apartment in most major American cities for about 2 years. Let that sink in. North Crossett isn't glamorous, but glamour is overrated when your mortgage payment is this low. Livability score is 60, so it's no resort, but if hunting and fishing are your jam, North Crossett might be for you. Just make sure you bring a nose plug because of the mill. Number 2, West Crossett. Yep, another Crossett. Buckle up. West Crossett slides into the number 2 spot with a median home price of $77,000 and rent sitting at around $850 a month. At this point, the Crossett area has basically colonized the top 3 spots on this list and nobody seems to be stopping them. West Crossett is the affordable alternative to the affordable alternative, which in any other state in America would still be unaffordable. Here, it's just Tuesday. If you're the type who likes options, and who doesn't, knowing that you can shop between Crossett, North Crossett, and West Crossett, depending on your exact budget and preferred compass direction, is genuinely useful information. These spots all share the same livability, coming in at 61. There's not much to do in these small towns, but they're great for cheap homes and a simple lifestyle. And number 1, the crown goes to Brinkley, the most affordable town in Arkansas, and it is not even close. Median listing price is $37,450. $37,000. Now, full transparency, the average total home value in the area sits closer to $81,000, which suggests there are a significant number of fixer-uppers pulling that listing price down to reality-bending levels. So no, you are not necessarily getting a turnkey dream home for the price of a used sedan. But here's the thing, if you've got a DIY attitude, some time on your hands, and a YouTube playlist of renovation tutorials, maybe even a state debate playlist just as background noise, Brinkley could be the most financially liberating decision you've ever made. Located in Monroe County in East Arkansas, Brinkley has that small-town bone situation where the potential is real if you're willing to put in the work. For the absolute floor of Arkansas real estate, Brinkley is in a category entirely its own. So there you have it, 10 Arkansas towns proving that affordable doesn't have to mean miserable, remote, or away from modern civilization. From Highland's reasonable charm to Brinkley's wild card home prices, Arkansas is the quiet king of the lowest cost of living in the entire country. No, it's not bustling or flashy, but it has houses, real ones, that you can actually afford, and community that makes life worth living. And sometimes that's exactly the point. That's a wrap on Arkansas. If you're really going to make the move, do your homework on local job markets, school districts, and get an inspector for those Brinkley fixer-uppers before you sign anything. If Arkansas isn't calling your name, check out my playlist of other state rundowns. But if the natural state is starting to sound a little more natural to you, maybe it's time. See you next time on State Debate.